Hey everybody, it is John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. And do you know what today is? It is fantastic, fabulous, super motivational Friday. I know the weather today is a little bit dreary, but hey, our spirits are up and we have a great letter today, and that is, you guessed it, the letter P. What is my advice for today? Well, that is pressure. I know a lot of you in life think about pressure as being negative because maybe too much is put on you, maybe it's exams, maybe it's studying for getting into college, or maybe it's just trying to pass something like your bar certification or other certification class so that you can actually achieve a higher level in life. So pressure is actually good, but too much of it is not good. So let's talk about some pressure that's positive. So there are locks in the world. That's when you take a boat from one level and you actually will fill the water up and bring that boat to the current level of the water that it will be adjacent to and leaving. The way a lock works is a boat typically is on the outside. And then what happens is when the light is green, if it's a fancier lock, otherwise the lock staff people will tell you it's clear to come in if it's open. You will come in, you will tie on the sides. Usually they're pretty narrow. Once you're in the lock, then they start to fill the water so that it rises and brings the boat up to equal to the level of where you're going to be going out to. Locks are really important because if we didn't have them, we would not be able to get from one stream to another that's up. So we have a really interesting lock. It's in Falkirk, and it is a rotating lift. And it actually takes roughly about 20-some minutes to get let's call it the water tram, all the way up to about 8 stories in height so that it can safely traverse onto the next canalway and then backwards. So really interesting thing. It's the only one in the world. But another thing about pressure is if you don't have the right amount of pressure, ladies and gentlemen, you can't do anything. So I have right here a pear. And I have over here a nice handy dandy little cutter. If I don't put pressure or enough pressure, I'm going to stand here all day and nothing's going to happen. If I put pressure, watch what happens. Voila! I have a sliced pear. So you have to push down with some pressure. See what I did that? I got a benefit. By the way, not only did I get a benefit, I got a nice treat. It's important that you choose the right amount of pressure. If there's a relationship, maybe you're going to use the right amount of pressure. If you put too much, the person's going to walk away. If you put too much pressure on, let's say, a board and you're trying to hold it to a wall, it's going to break. If you put too much pressure against anything, it's going to snap, right, or fall apart. If you have too much pressure when we're talking about water, what's going to happen? The water's going to go over. If you don't have enough pressure, it's not even going to make it to the threshold. So the moral of the story today is that you need to apply pressure in your life. People say, oh, you know, it's too much pressure. That's right, too much pressure. You have to balance between having just enough and none. Because if you have too much, you're going to become stressful. If you don't have enough, you're not going to become motivated. Now, I know you're probably saying to me, John, I don't want pressure. Well, if you don't have any pressure, you wouldn't be able to walk every day. Your feet actually apply pressure to the bottom of your soles to take a step, okay? So that's really important. So when you think about pressure, I want you to think about it as a potentiometer, something that can go from, let's say, very low, like in sound, and then all the way to very high. And so if you think about pressure like that, then you realize that you have the control of pressure. If someone else is the one that is controlling that knob, that's when pressure is ruling you, and that's when you don't like pressure. So pressure is a good thing, just like we saw how it was able to help me cut this beautiful pear in just a matter of seconds. But again, if I didn't apply the right amount of pressure, it didn't work. If I applied too much pressure, I could have hurt myself, or maybe the table would have actually went on the ground. So ladies and gentlemen, if you have a challenge in your life and it's not working, I want you to step back for a moment and think, am I applying too much pressure? Is someone else applying too much pressure to me? And if that's happening, write it down on a piece of paper and think about what is it that's actually causing the pressure. If there is not enough pressure, maybe you need to apply some pressure. But your pressure is sometimes going to be different than other people's pressure. So you can control the amount of pressure you apply, and you can play with that. If you feel comfortable, push it up just a little more. I always say you want to feel a little bit uncomfortable, but you don't want to be too uncomfortable, right? Other people have this tendency of saying, gee, you know, push yourself, push yourself. You've all heard the thing, you're going to run, you know, so many miles. You only can possibly run so many yourself. How do you do that? It's really simple. You have to know what your limits are, but you have to push them a little bit. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, and it was my pleasure to come to you today with the letter P for pressure. I hope that you'll choose to apply this. And ladies and gentlemen, if you have not already shared my videos with your friends, your colleagues, and your associates, please do that. If this video is on YouTube, I want you right now to go ahead and smash that bell notification icon so you are notified when I purchase future videos of this content. Now, also be sure to click on the subscribe button and do comment and do like and do share. And one other caveat. If you are posting comments, please make sure the comments are about this video. If you're another creator and you're trying to reach out to me to try to sell me something, please don't. I'm going to ignore your post. And let's use pressure, ladies and gentlemen, to help us make ourselves better versions of each other, because that's what we're all here for. Have yourself a great weekend, and you know I'll be back real soon with another video. Take care.